Hi for everyone. Today I'm gonna talk to you about the problems of the traffic in Bogota, specifically on the environmental impacts due to the traffic and implementation to a multimodal transportation system as a solution of that. To begin with my presentation, I will divide it into four parts. First, I will give a context of the current traffic situation in Bogota. Second, I will explain the problem. Third, I will explain the solution. And finally, I will explain the evaluation of the solution and the conclusion. Okay, it's not a secret to anyone that the mobility in Bogota is very chaotic. According to the DANE, Bogota has almost 10 million inhabitants, and a large majority of the inhabitants prefer to use a private car as the main mode of transport for their trips. In terms of mobility, according to the newspaper La República, Bogota is the most congested city in South America and it's the second most congested city in the world, after Bombay, India. It's important to point out that the average speed in Bogota is 24 kilometers per hour between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. But in the peak hours, the average speed is 8 kilometers per hour. Okay, on the other hand, in the environmental context, I would like to draw your attention to the graph of the greenhouse gas emissions in USA. As you can see in the graph, the transportation emissions were increasing considerably and matched the industry emissions. It's worrying to see the increased CO2 emissions due to the transportation, but it's even more worrying that 65% of that emissions are due to use private cars compared to 1% to passenger rail and bus emissions. The real question is, the situation in Bogota is similarly to the situation in USA, and the answer is yes. In the case of Bogota, the contribution rate of CO2 emissions by private car is very similar to USA to the rate of USA. In the Bogota city, people prefer to use the private car instead of public transport on the trips. As you can see, the use of private car is very high compared to the other modes of transportation. Now, what is the implication of this? On February 6th of this year, a yellow alert was declared throughout the city because the particulate material that was registered 35 micrograms per cubic meter of PM. This is very harmful to the health because the normal rate of particulate material in Bogota is 20 micrograms per cubic meter of PM. As a solution for the traffic and environmental problems, the implementation of multimodal transportation system is proposed. But what is the multimodal transportation system? Okay, a multimodal transportation system is an integrated system that incorporates different modes of transport and offers connectivity between them. The multimodal transportation system focuses in diverse modes as carpooling, public transport, biking, walking, and this system works like a network when you use all of transport modes in a single system. Okay, to evaluate the perception, I did a survey and it answered by 20 students. In the graph, you can see the modes of transportation that used by the students, and this graph is very similar to the city statistics. The survey also asked about the alternatives that they planned to use with the implementation of multimodal transportation system, and the results are very satisfactory because as you can see in the graph, the 45% of the students would use the metro as the transportation mode, and the metro is the main network in the multimodal transportation systems. These results suggest that the multimodal transportation system is a more attractive system for citizens because with the system in operation, the environmental impact is greatly reduced. And in the same way, travel times are reduced. In conclusion, implementing the multimodal system it makes the use of public transport more attractive to Bogotans. To test the effectiveness of the multimodal transport, the figures for the No Car Day made on February 6 in Bogota were used as a reference. On this day, the use of Transmilenio increased 11%, the use of SATP increased 23%, and the average speed in the road increased 14%. Okay, thank you.